The John C. Scott Show, the most talked to, talked about, and listened to talk show in Tucson.
Thank you. Good afternoon. It's October the 28th and a very jam-packed show for you today. We'll profile the Sunnyside School District's override, which is such a critical vote by the folks in Sunnyside School District. Dr. Manuel Izquierdo is with us, and Mary Veras, the Public Relations Director of Sunnyside, is also here. We'll talk with Bill Risner, who is a respected longtime Tucson attorney. Libertarians have asked the court to order more secure election measures. The court case seeks tougher election security. We'll also talk with us now, Bill Risner. He's a well-known Tucson attorney. He's been fighting for voter integrity as long as I have known him, and the fight continues. Bill, welcome to the show. Thanks so much for being with us.
Sure, yeah, thanks.
All right. This next battle in the war is coming right up. Explain it to people.
Well, on November 12th, we have an argument in Phoenix in Division 1 of the Arizona Court of Appeals. The case had previously, same case had gone to Division 2 here, and they had determined that we could proceed in Superior Court, that the court did have jurisdiction to listen to evidence to show that the RTA election was fraudulent, and also for us to show that the county could illegally fix any election that they want without being caught. And so there are certain changes the court could make, and so we want the judge to make those changes. But Judge Bryson said, heck, the most he could do is just tell them to obey the rules and no need to hear evidence, so he just dismissed the case. So we had to appeal again, and county arranged through the Republican Party to have the case sent up to Phoenix, where they thought they'd have a better chance.
Well, 7 years, of course, has gone by since the regional transportation tax vote, and you represent the Libertarians on this. Let's talk about their vested interest in this and why they have become literally, I guess, your benefactor here for this whole battle. What have the Libertarians got to do with all of this?
Well, I don't know anything really more than any others. It's just a question of the fundamental thing in our democracy is votes need to be counted accurately, and we need to know that the reported results are accurate results. But let me just give you an example, John. A lot of people mail in ballots in the normal state election, and something like now 70%. In Tucson, they're all mailed in, but in the county, something like 70% are mailed in. Then a computer reports the results, but there's absolutely no auditing of any county race, whether it's the Board of Supervisor, but any county position, there's no auditing at all, and there's no effective auditing on any race for mailed-in ballots. And it's all because of the computer and the way it's done. And our legislature is sort of behind the times in creating laws that, contemplate computers, and they just simply don't understand all of the ways that can be cheated using a computerized system.
Well, in essence, you're contending that having ballots scanned and tallied by a computer is far more subject to outside manipulation than having votes counted by hand by people who are being monitored by officials from each party. And you're talking about scanners used to count the ballots easily to be programmed to shift a few votes here and there and enough to alter the outcome of any race, but not enough in any one precinct to raise alarm. Explain how that can happen.
Well, actually what we're more concerned about is inside manipulation with the election department. That's really the number one problem. I mean, the people on the outside have little chance of doing anything. But there are so many ways to cheat at the individual precincts. The county in the past bought a machine that let them program memory cards to print false results. But the way these things are, that's only now maybe 30% of the total votes are at precincts. The mail-in votes, the huge chunk of them, they're just counted by the machines. You push a button and it prints a result, but the machine can be programmed to print a different result. So it's all a black box, and there are multiple ways to rig it to cheat, and there are no ways to catch them. That's the real problem.
So what's the solution here?
Well, there are several solutions. One is, which I've suggested, is the best solution, is what's called graphic scanning, which is you have a separate high-speed scanner that scans the ballots right after they're counted, and then the political parties or someone else can utilize a separate system to count those ballots. And then you actually have essentially a photograph of all of the ballots, and so you can see if the computer's reported results are the same. Another way is to do auditing, where a random selection of the ballots, and you need enough to make it accurate, where they're counted, and then you see if that matches up, and if it's off by a certain percentage, you increase the amount of auditing until you find out that you've got a high confidence level. So there really are a number of changes that the county could make that would ensure that the count's accurate. But what's going on now, and the reason we're fighting so hard, is the county refuses to do any of those things. So all we're fighting about is the right to cheat. We're not, there would be no election turn back. And in fact, the RTA has become such a problem where, judges don't seem to want to hear it, that I asked the last judge, look, let's just say that in any election, this system is so easy to cheat with that it shouldn't be used at any time without safeguards to make sure that the count is accurate.
The reason I ask you about the Libertarians is it is political, and we know that both Pima County as well as the county's Republican Central Committee is opposing you. So you got the Republican Central Committee as well as Pima County. So there's a political aspect to this, whether we like it or not, right?
Yeah, sure, except that what happened is the Republicans were told that Pima County asked them to file an amicus brief simply to get it sent out of Pima County. Since they had lost in our Court of Appeals, they thought they'd have a better chance up in Phoenix. It is just disheartening to see the Republicans filed an amicus brief where they argued that the fact that the county could cheat every single election was less important than calling into doubt one past election.
Now, the ballots are where now? From the RTA 7 years ago?
Stored at a company called Iron Mountain in Tucson in boxes.
Are you comfortable they're secure?
Well, I'm comfortable they're secure as I'm going to be able to get them.
What would they show if we could get them to review them all?
I think they would show that the county stuffed the boxes and that there's two different kinds of ballots in those boxes.
That's a pretty serious charge, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I think. That's right. What you wanted to know.
Well, that's exactly why I'm talking with you. Okay, let's talk about the pending court action. When is it going to take place? What's at stake here, do you think?
It's November 12th, 9:30 in the morning in Phoenix at the Court of Appeals is at the same building that the Arizona Supreme Court is. And what's at stake is whether or not the case is sent back to Pima County, and the judges here clearly understand that we're permitted to discover what we need to and to put on evidence that the county did cheat and to put on evidence of the variety of ways that the court can protect the franchise from manipulation so that the public can feel confident that reported results are accurate results.
Well, to say the least, you've been tenacious about this. It's been going on a long time, hasn't it?
You know, it's sort of important.
Well,
you know, if the votes can't be counted right, then everything else is just showtime.
Bill, thanks for being with us. Good to talk with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bill Risner, Tucson attorney. 7 years after the highly charged regional transportation tax vote, the State Court of Appeals will decide whether those who contend there was cheating in that race will get a chance for a change in future election procedures. We thank Bill Risner. Everything you wanted to know about reverse mortgage